All right, what's good? Welcome back to the Pop Off Podcast, a conversation show about all of the biggest things in sports. My name is Ralph Compiano. I'm your host. I'm joined as always by my co-host, Mike Cerroni, and we're joined tonight by Nick Bordenaro and Adam Kapsch. Adam Kapsch, you have two new quarterbacks in Pittsburgh now. As a Steelers fan, you have Russell Wilson and you have Justin Fields. Just lay it on me, man. You know, no more Pickett. The Roethlisberger era has been over for a bit. No more Trubisky. No more Mason Rudolph. How are you feeling about the light-skinned gentlemen that are going to be playing under Mike Tomlin this year? Is this exciting for you? Like, was the Fields news like a dick throbber? Where's your head at as a Steelers fan?
Yeah, as soon as we went in and got Russ, I knew that this was just going to be a new guard completely. This isn't something like the Steelers aren't going to invest a first-round draft pick in a quarterback and then go out and pick up a veteran and everything's just going to be kosher, right? Like, as soon as that happened, I knew this shit was flipping, especially after the Patrick Queen signing. Like there was kind of some big blockbuster names. Sorry, Cerroni. I had to let you know about that one again. But
Cerroni got fucking Derrick Henry. He can take it easy.
Yeah, I mean, that's a consolation prize. I'll take Derrick Henry.
I'm pumped to watch those two meet in the A gap twice a year. I'll say that right now.
Oh, I forgot you were a Steelers fan, bro. Like we should watch the games over FaceTime or something.
I'd be more than happy to. I just get really, really quiet. But
do you really think Fields, or who do you think is going to start?
Fields, from a raw talent standpoint, right? Fields is just a significant upgrade over Kenny, which already would make him the best quarterback on our team. His biggest issue when he was in Chicago was not only lack of talent around him in his first year, but then second year, it was just a consistent switch up and a change when it came to like the coaching and a lot of the front office personnel and executives that were actually giving him guidance. And now you're putting him in a situation where you can say, hey, take a step back, right? Mm-hmm. You're going to get into a brand new scheme. You're not going to get thrown into the fire right away. We're going to have Russ kind of take that and be the sacrificial lamb to not only be a mentor for you as you grow, but then to also give you an opportunity to get more time to learn this playbook and potentially be the future of the organization. The Pittsburgh Steelers haven't had a black quarterback since Cordell Stewart. So for me personally, this is huge, right? Like this is, the first time
before a black quarterback.
So I remember
that's got to be a record.
Being a little kid, it was the Tommy Maddox, Cordell Stewart era. Mm-hmm. And I remember anytime I saw a black person, I would ask them, are you Cordell Stewart? When you're in Iowa, there wasn't a ton of black people, dude, except like for some of my family. And they were some of that 6% within the state of Iowa. And so I think it's great that we're giving Pittsburgh not one, but two light-skinned kings, right? But then at the same time, dude, the defense is starting to look so nasty again at the linebacker position. Mm-hmm. I'm just excited to see, with this being like a run first oriented team, we solidified that last year when they chose to bring in Arthur Smith as the offensive coordinator. Obviously, you're going to be investing in the O-line come draft day, and then getting rid of Deontay Johnson as well. Like, all signs are pointing towards just a ground and pound offense that's going to have to run through Pickens and Freiermuth as the key weapons on the outside. We'll see who else they want to add. I know they got Van Jefferson in there, but he's a deep ball threat at best.
And on the Fields note, like I've watched, I'd say 95% of the snaps that he's taken as a pro. I can tell you right now that you are getting somebody who he makes the really difficult plays look easy, like throwing like really tight windows when it has to be like made. Even against Pittsburgh, I think that was like the first game that he had was his rookie year where I was like, okay, this kid's got it. And then obviously he's, one of the 2 or 3 best scramblers in the league. But at the same time, he makes the really easy throws sometimes look hard. And so I love him. He's like still going to be one of my favorite players to watch. But I think the Arthur Smith point is huge because he hasn't had, consistent play caller. He had Luke Getsy. He had just this whole mess of different guys that were really running the system, Nagy, all of that kind of stuff. But if there can't be a bigger culture change from like the inconsistency in Chicago to the consistency in Pittsburgh. I mean, Tomlin's never had a season below 500. He's going into a locker room with like a Cam Hayward, a Watt, even like Joey Porter, like Jr., like guys like that can bring him in and be like, hey, we believe in you. And I think he started to get that a little bit more in Chicago his last couple of months with DJ Moore and guys like that, Montez Sweat. But there's just something about specifically, like, I think them, the Ravens, the Patriots used to be this way, the Chiefs are this way now, where there's just a standard that you have to uphold. And I think that he'll be able to meet that for you guys. It is. They're a great organization. I'm honestly happy for him because I was going to root for him wherever he went, and I'm just excited to see him ball out there.
Yeah, I think to your point too, Ralph, watching Fields play quarterback, he's like the Jordan Spieth of quarterbacks. He makes the really hard things look easy. He makes the really easy things look difficult.
Right.
I think that's something. Yeah, I mean, that's just, you're going to have some days better than others, right? But, I mean, that Big Ben would go out and have like Jameis Winston numbers half the time where he'd be throwing 5 touchdowns with like 2 or 3 interceptions, but it didn't matter because, you know, we had 52 points and, you know, they had 38 or whatever. That was like the trend when we had AB and Lev Bell.
Yeah.
And then this narrative completely flipped after Big Ben like had his elbow injury. That was like the beginning of the end for the Steelers on offense. And ever since then, we've been like, where's the spark? Where's the flair? And not only did they get rid of a quote unquote locker room cancer within Deontay, but that they invested in 2 former first round quarterbacks. I mean,
you guys
I don't care what it is.
From an outside perspective, you guys are kind of like one of the most unlikable teams for me right now. I mean,
easily.
Arthur Smith was.
We have been our entire
coach
franchise.
Last year. Everybody hated Russ last year, but I think this is making people come around to both those guys a little bit. You know,
I mean,
I hated let's ride Russ. You know, he might have a new stick in Pittsburgh. He might have. Let's steal this one.
I don't really
Let's
know.
Go steal a dub, Yinzers.
I'll defend Russ. Like, he's the corniest dude ever.
Long?
Don't get me
wrong. How long are you gonna put up with it?
For 1 year. That's for his contract. Like that. And I'll say this too. Russ has been one of those guys that, like, it can't be easy to step in and father future children. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta have some
video today.
I mean, like, fellas, you know, imagine trying to step in and fill those shoes.
Kid's probably giving him so much back talk.
Yeah. I mean,
the kid's name is literally Baby Future. Every time he looks at that kid, he has to call them Baby Future. He says it in press conferences. And I was texting my dad about it today. He's like, damn, Russ is on the Steelers and Fields is there too. I'm like, yeah, Dad, Fields is from Atlanta and he's definitely a Future fan. He said it in multiple interviews that like his favorite rapper is Future. So I don't think he's going to be prevented from listening to his favorite rapper when he's working out, which is going to be hysterical. But it's also like, I mean, there is like a world where Fields is kind of Wilson-ish. Like, you know, the early days of him when he was scrambling around, improvising, making plays. So I think he can learn from him. But all right, Cerroni, who would you rather see start against the Ravens? You guys play week 7, week 8, whatever it is. Who would you rather play against? Would you rather play against Fields or would you rather play against Russ?
Fields. I'm trying to go at this to just not be like, and just not to be too mean. No, dude, it's a huge signing. It breeds like excitement. You're getting a better quarterback, whether it's Wilson or Fields, but Fields, dude, you've watched him play. Ralph, you've watched him, you know, you said 95% of the snaps. I don't know if he's had 3 years to prove his position to be the starting quarterback for the Bears. And for 3 years, he's held the ball too long and gotten sacked. I just don't know. Now, yes, you could turn the page, you could turn the tide, you could get things going. It's a new environment, new play calling, new this, new that, which very well could be. I think it's huge for the Steelers overall. I think it's going to be awesome to be AFC North is going to be the most competitive division once again, which is going to be crazy because this year we forgot about Joe Cool and the Bengals, and he'll be back, and the Browns looking pretty good. I just don't know. You know, I think I'm friends with a lot of Steelers fans because I'm a Ravens fan. And you would have thought the Steelers just signed Tom Brady in his prime. You would have thought the Steelers just time traveled and got Joe Montana to where I just don't know if it's going to pan out to where, I mean, we'll see. It's definitely improvement. They already made the playoffs last year with nobody. And I think, as the AFC North goes, or at least the Ravens and Steelers are going to be a playoff team no matter what, because their defense, it's almost like the Ravens. They're going to be there because their defense. So I'm definitely a little bit more scared for sure. It's going to be great games. It's going to be more exciting. I'm just very curious to see. I don't really know why this would make him an all-star or make him like just this unbelievable quarterback out of nowhere, coming from, the Bears weren't, I mean, yeah, they were pretty bad, but like there was opportunities for him to stand out and get the starting job.
He had games where he blew up. Like the Washington game on Thursday night, he looked fucking miraculous. And it would be the most Bears thing for us to trade a guy and then he just goes and blows up somewhere else. That's just like the most Bears thing that could possibly happen. Yeah. Like, it's kind of like Lamar, where it's like he has like we talk about like things that you can coach and things that you can't coach, right? Like you can't coach that speed. Like that's just something that he's blessed with. He has it. But I also don't know if you can coach him into being like, all right, I'm making the throw on like my second drop. Like the second step that I take in my drop back, can I make that? I thought that was going to be coachable. It turns out it wasn't for him. So maybe he doesn't have that like part of his brain unlocked yet.
Yeah, I think
can't help that he looks like this. He's got frog eyes like me, where he's looking both ways at once.
Fields?
Like, yeah, you does, help a QB where you're looking both ways at the same time.
First couple games will be huge for Fields, like momentum, like his attitude, like his getting his confidence back. I'd watch Bears games, dude, and I would see Fields, and he would look like scared out there, like almost like he would look like terrified. It was like he was almost like, and there's never a smile, there's never fire. Like I want to see, Lamar doesn't do it a lot, or kind of, but you want your quarterback to be like Brady used to stomp down the sideline at the very end, used to throw his fist and say, let's fucking go. You want some fire. You want some like leadership out of him. And it was never there like in Chicago, but maybe I think the first couple games would be huge to get like his confidence back, momentum. And yeah, I think now the Russ signing, because I was, just making fun of Russ the whole time, because again, Connor, you guys signed Russ, and I was like, dude, what? Like you thought I was like a superstar, but I think him to like mentor him, to coach him, yeah, we can clown Russ, but he's got a ring. He's been to the Super Bowl. He should have 2 rings.
Maybe at his best year in like 5 years last year, like. Lordy, like I trashed Russ all the time, and you were defending him. You're like, you know what? He's got 3,000 yards or whatever. He's got like 30 touchdowns.
Denver had a little run going there when I think they won like 6-7 straight.
You watch those Denver games though, and it doesn't jump out on film. Like a lot of it's no joke. Probably half that was jump balls to Sutton, especially the touchdown passes. But on Fields, no, I've spent like 3 years hating on Fields, so obviously it's not my time to defend him. Let's just run through real quick Fields' career in Chicago. Rookie year, he makes his first start. Who was starting over him? Trube still?
Andy Dalton.
He was still. They started Andy Dalton over him till week 3 as a first-round pick. And then who was his first start against?
I can't remember.
One of the top defenses. I'm stealing this bit from a tweet, so they didn't say which team it was. Just one of the best defenses. So that's his first year, his rookie year. Obviously, they can't protect him. Second year, they give him literally the worst roster an NFL team has maybe ever had.
Correct.
He had nobody to throw to, nobody to block for him, nobody to run the ball, no defense.
Correct.
So then we get to this year, and they're like, all right, bud, it's all on you. Go win the Super Bowl. Like, go from being the worst team, go win the Super Bowl, otherwise you're fucked. And I think just the pressure of a lot of it kind of, they got him DJ Moore, but it still wasn't like a winning roster by any means.
Mm-mm.
But props then this year, they got the first pick, probably in line to take Caleb. So I think things are looking up for the Bears and the Steelers.
I agree. The Bears are going to be a scary team.
They're going to be hopefully good.
It's a huge
I don't get my hopes up with them, but like Bordy said, like in the Fields position, like if you would just go through like the Madden rosters,
on paper,
play Madden every single year, you look at the overalls across the board, 1 to 53. We had no guys that were like a 90 overall, like a blue chipper. We had no TJ Watts. We had Roquan Smith, and we fucking traded him, All right, so we didn't have any of those guys after he left. Then we go get Montez Sweat, and it unlocks some stuff in our defense. But our offensive line across the board, dog shit. A lot of young guys, Tevin Jenkins, Braxton Jones, guys of that nature. Whitehair always had injuries. And then even in the running back room, it's like Khalil Herbert's like our stud. David Montgomery, who like is better as a thunder or lightning. Like he's not a 3-down back every game kind of guy.
He's a journeyman. And then he's been everywhere.
You have DJ Moore, and DJ Moore was fucking awesome last year. That relationship was good. Like he was a top 10 receiver
was hurt half
across
the
all
season.
metrics.
That's what kind of threw a wrench and everything. He got hurt in the middle of the year.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely a polarizing player. Because, like, I think it could go one of two ways. I think he could be genuinely – I mean, the AFC is so tough because you just have so many fucking quarterbacks in that conference. But, like, I think that he could be at least a top 8 quarterback in that conference behind Stroud, Lamar, Herbert, Mahomes,
He's got to find a new
Allen.
number. Steelers don't let nobody wear number 1.
Why?
It's just a team thing. Nobody's number 1.
Huh.
You didn't have one of those Pee-wee football coaches?
Yeah.
Like, nobody's number 1.
Yeah, Darnell Washington wasn't able to do the 0 either.
I think Pickens was 1 in college as well.
No, he wasn't.
Kids wear number 1 on your team, Ralph?
Yeah.
Yeah, the best player.
I actually – no, my best players were number 9 and 5. They know who they are. All right, well, let's transition over to so the Players Tournament was this weekend. Kapsch, you guys did a great job on rent money earlier this week. You know, this is kind of the time of the year where, like, everybody's locked in on college basketball, right? So a little bit less tension paid to golf. But I had just as much fun watching golf this weekend as I did anything else. And the Players Championship is really fucking fun. Sawgrass is a great course. Just tell me what were your initial thoughts. Obviously, Scottie came out and won. I can't remember if you guys actually took him on the play. I know
Scottie
you guys like Xander quite a bit to lead after round 1. But go ahead.
I did call out Xander after round 1. Exact same thing happened last time that I took him. He tied for the lead. But no, the reason that because I was kind of high on Xander going in. And I was texting with a buddy of mine, with Hutch actually, who will get on an episode here this week. Hutch was like, he's gonna win. He's a lock. 54 holes later, he's in the lead, and I look up and he's got like 2-stroke lead. But there was 2 stats that popped out to me as to why he wouldn't. It was his driving accuracy. I believe he was ranked like 120th, 116th or something on tour, which is not going to win you anything when you're at Sawgrass. But the number 2, he was ranked like 136th in putts. And I actually watched Full Swing. I finished it today. Exact same reason why he can't win tournaments is he likes to win more than he hates to lose from a fan's perspective, right? Which you have to hate losing more than you like winning if you want to win consistently at a field of 100-something golfers. But then number 2, like he just couldn't hit putts today. And the back 9, he was missing fairways left and right, constantly having to scramble up and down, putting the ball in the rough next to the green every time because he was in the rough trying to get there. And he just shot himself in the foot every single hole. The only other guy that I think even has a chance right now to go toe-to-toe with the likes of a Scottie Scheffler is Wyndham Clark. The dude almost did it today. I think he has progressed so much over the past year, like from being a U.S. Open champion to actually like starting to ball out consistently, getting a lot of top 5s, top 10s.
He can lock in too.
Dude, if he locks in before Augusta,
dude, that ball was halfway in the hole.
He had a few other putts early on in the day that were just real bad reads by him, and he didn't really get going until the back. Otherwise, I think he wins that.
Another guy to keep an eye on, though, especially
he doesn't shoot a 64, obviously, course record.
Yeah, but another guy to keep an eye on going into Augusta is Brian Harman. This guy refuses to be put to bed. He doesn't go away. He's short, lefty. Looks like one of the 7 dwarfs, right? He looks like Dopey
short lefty,
from Snow White. He's a redneck. The dude's from Georgia. He bow hunts. Like,
ate way too much sugar.
Like you never know, but like holy fuck, this guy when he's on, like he obviously couldn't get the job done today either, coming in with a second place as well. But him and Wyndham Clark, dude, have been so impressive to me since last season. I feel like those two have stepped up in a major way, kind of answering to some of the stars that left for the Live Tour. They've been playing so consistently. Yes.
They don't live up to with the star power for me, though.
No,
well, not
they don't.
yet.
And
you got to give these
that's
guys
the
some
thing
time.
is it's not yet. Right. Like, I think even if those guys would have stayed, the DJs, maybe not with like Rom and Cam Smith are the exceptions because they were pretty much almost getting to the peak. Like, I think they could be where Scottie is right now had they stayed.
Rom was fucking Scottie back in the John.
I think last year was the year that Scottie started to overtake Rom.
That's why Rom left.
Maybe.
Kind of
I don't know.
Thing. It's just part of it.
I blame Kepa personally, Rom's infant son, but that's just me. Kepa, if you ever get to listen to this pod, you owe me years of fandom for your father that I'll never get back.
No, Kepa, John Rom's son.
Rom. Yes, he's like 3 years old now.
Yeah, Kapsch loves to blame infants. Like, if he can ever pin anything on an infant, he takes that opportunity when it's given. I was like,
you know way too much golf to mispronounce.
Anytime,
I was like,
anytime Jason Tatum has a bad game, Deuce's fault. I can almost guarantee you it's Deuce's fault.
He was up late the night before.
Yep.
Stupid
on
babies,
some bullshit.
Dude. You gotta be kidding me, dude.
I mean, keeping their dads up. Actually put less time into the game.
100%.
Other shit.
Fucking Deuce.
Well, from like a larger like picture for Scottie, like how much are because nobody's ever going to be Tiger again, right? I think that's fair.
No,
Golfers are too good
possible.
now to catch that to like ever like prevent somebody from winning however many majors in however many years. But like, what does Scottie need to do to like put him like at the next level of that like pyramid, like to get to like the AP, the Nicklaus? Because like he's 24, 25 years old. He's a young buck. He's still got like 10 great years of golf left. He's young.
I think he's like our age. He's maybe 25, 26, but
25.
He looks 35.
Yeah. Well, he didn't win 25 mil, but he won first out of the
the purse was like 4.6.
Right. He won 4.5.
Oh yeah,
4.5 on.
And he won another 4.5 last week, didn't he?
Yeah, well, not the players is the thing about golf too is every single purse is different. The players is the biggest purse of the year. Like it's worth the most money. So that one was nice for him to win. He's pretty much able to. He could literally put all of his winnings from last year in a safe and just put it there and
be good for the rest of his life. God, that's so sick.
But I think the thing about Scottie,
he's kind of there. It's just the putting.
No, yeah, I mean, like he's been putting so well since the waste management. I want to say maybe the week after. Like,
wasn't his neck messed up today too?
Yeah, he tweaked his neck Friday, I believe it was, and he still came out.
Motherfucker just shot a 64.
Yeah,
he's an absolute dog.
He's the best out by far. Just watching him hit a drive is like, why can't I do that?
Yeah, I think there's two things. Two things he's got to do. Number one, he's got to be consistent. When he plays, he has to like pick and choose. He can't just go out like he used to and just play every week. When he does play, he's got a ball. But more specifically, when it comes to majors, he's got to find a way to be in contention consistently. Similar to the Tigers, the Rorys. Like as soon as he starts slipping, I don't really care if he's not a good putter because there's so many other ways that he's making up strokes gained across the field from like a team green perspective. He's never going to be like a good putter either is the other thing. Like there's going to be events, there's going to be rounds where he's just putting better than everyone else. And since he switched away from a blade putter, it's been totally different. It's been night and day. Same thing happened with Justin Thomas when he was struggling. Same thing you're seeing happen with Zalatoris. He started to improve a little bit more with the wrist lock putter. But like, I think the biggest thing for Scottie is
how's your dick putter?
Green jackets.
How's that match up with
green jacket?
A blade or a mallet putter?
Peter putter is great. Peter putter it does what I need it to do. The thing with the Peter putter is I bought a new putter, but I will drop these nasty 15, 16, 17 foot putts with the dick putter. So I don't know if I should I kind of just keep it in my bag at all times.
Secret weapon.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's always because I golf.
Literally pulls his dick out.
Yeah, I golf like Dolo a lot, to be honest. It's pretty sounds pretty sad at first, but it's actually like a beautiful
That's
thing.
the move.
I did it
You're
last
Everybody
just
week.
lets you
like
play.
missionary. You're like missionary over the ball, just playing croquet. Like,
Yes. Well, dude, I get paired up with these. There's this course where I live, and it's like the veterans play for free. So I'll always go out just alone and play with, 2 or 3 of these old vets, dude. And it's just the
thank you
shit
for your
that,
service, by the way.
thank you, I appreciate that. But there's no one funnier than an old veteran, dude. The shit that comes, there's no rules. Like they
No,
don't.
they're
already
all so misogynistic.
Dude, it's
My best
insane.
friend throughout all of college was a 70-something-year-old guy named Tom. He was a regular at the bar that I worked at all 4 years of
Yeah, dude, the
college.
conversations are
And
priceless.
to women's faces, the shit that he would say, and they would either laugh or get very upset, calm down, and then laugh, was like, I understand why you have 3 divorces and your heart isn't working properly. Like,
Yeah,
this
man.
is all tracking,
What a college bar at 80 years old.
Dude, every day he would come in, starting at around 10 a.m., he would have a can of Coors Light and a
Jesus.
shot of Jim Beam. And he would sit both. You'd refill him from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. every day, 6 days a week. And then he would go home. He would get a taxi ride home. He would go home and smoke 2 blunts, eat a Stover's chicken pot pie, and go to bed. And that's what he did every day for the last
And I bet
15 years of his life.
He's the happiest. It's just a simple life. It's just
No,
the
he's
little
dead.
things.
Yeah, when
he's
he
dead
died, he
now.
left
But
all of his money to Kapsch.
No, he didn't have any.
Like that Billy Currington song.
He left all of his money in the tip jar at Airliner. Is where he left all of it.
No.
All $17 to his name.
He's got a plaque though at the spot he sat at every day. So if you're ever at the Airliner, go to the far left
Happy
side of the
life.
bar, look for the plaque dedicated to Tom Essex, and all 3 of his ex-wives.
Beautiful.
Yeah, dude.
That's
it's just-
beautiful.
They're the best type of people.
If I'm going to airliner, I'm looking to sit on something else.
What?
Yeah, we took that out. They don't have that. They took that stool out.
Damn it, dude. That's
Too
my
many people
favorite
got-
spot. That's my favorite
Too
spot
many
in the
people.
house.
Everybody got gonorrhea, like the whole
Wow.
wrestling team did.
God.
Many
right,
back
well-
injuries.
It's also, we're in the midst of March Madness right now. So to celebrate March Madness, we are doing a draft today, and we are drafting our favorite college basketball players of all time. And these can just be like, the most random dudes that stood out to you in your memory. Because I've been thinking about college basketball a lot recently, and like, how do we get it back to the glory days? I think that's a little bit of a diluted product when you consider like how many guys in the NBA draft are like, European dudes. Like, my attention is just elsewhere other than college hoops. Like, I saw a highlight reel the other day of, and this could be a spoiler for one of our picks, but it was John Wall, Eric Bledsoe, DeMarcus Cousins, Boogie, when they're all at Kentucky together. And it was like porn. It was like, holy fuck,
They go
I missed
undefeated?
this era of college hoops. They did not. No, that was a few years later with like the Harrison twins, Anthony Davis, guys like that.
AD's team when they defeated.
Yeah. But anyways.
Yeah, Beal was on Florida.
Yeah, we weren't talking about Bradley Beal. Okay. We were talking about everybody else other than Bradley. No. All right. So we're
All right.
and we did bring up Bradley Beal earlier in the chat, so I know what you mean. And he was filthy.
I just got back from grabbing a beer. Yeah, him and Joakim Noah, dude.
Okay, so draft order. I'm randomizing as we speak. Sorry for not doing this earlier. V, B, C, A. All right. Cerroni, you got the first pick. Kapsch, you have the second pick. I have the third pick. Board, you have back-to-back picks.
Oh my god. Okay. Can we just
many
get
are we
right into
taking?
this?
We'll do
3
4
each?
picks each. 4 picks
4
each.
each. Okay. All right. Give me. Oh, this is too easy. Give me Jimmer. I don't know how well that's going to go over, but
White
dude,
guy first pick in a basketball draft. You gotta love it.
dude, it's self-explanatory. I mean, talk about the run of all runs. You have this white guy pulling up from anywhere. He literally won. I don't know what seed they were. I don't know where they were. They weren't a good seed when he made the run. But yeah, when you think of March Madness, you think of Jimmer. Just the announcing, the shots, the fucking glory that kid lived for fucking, I don't know, 3 weeks just to kind of, obviously not make it in the NBA. But yeah, give me Jimmer at 1. That's perfect.
He was so
BYU
unbelievable at BYU that the Kings, the Sacramento Kings, drafted him with a 7th overall pick, and everybody was like, "Holy shit!" And this is like pre-Steph, This is before like the Stephensons really happened. So everybody was like, he's changing the game. He's Caitlin Clark. He's all of these things. And I remember, I don't know if it was E60 or what it was. I think it was just an ESPN profile. The reason that he learned how to shoot from that far away is because his dad would take him to prison growing up to play basketball against grown men. So he's like, I can't go in the paint against convicts who are just like tatted the fuck up and about to just rip me at the rim and elbow me and do whatever they can to.
And this kid went to
Mormon.
BYU.
Yeah, they didn't give a fuck that he was a Mormon kid in prison. They're like, dude, you got to shoot from 32 feet if you want to get a shot up, and he did. And you know what? It paid off.
Confirmed Mormon.
BYU Mormon boy.
I wonder if he's lost his virginity yet.
That is almost as unbelievable as the Book of John Smith. That bullshit that they believe.
Is Jimmer
learned to play basketball out of prison?
Is Jimmer the polar opposite of Johnny Manziel? Like, are they the spectrum of white athletes in college?
I think that's a great point.
Maybe
are they Johnny Manziel or are they Jimmer?
Just polar opposites, two ends of the spectrum.
Neither of them panned out in the NFL or the NBA. That's actually kind of funny too.
Yep.
All right,
fly too close to the sun.
Yep, Icarus.
Second, I didn't expect a white guy to go first, so in order to, I mean, there's only a small number of white guys that you can go for here. I have to go John Wall though as my first off.
Interesting. All right, so
Troop
I didn't know
41 put him on. Like John Wall made college basketball more entertaining than watching like a prime LeBron in his rookie era for like a second. There was a blip in the radar where you were like, I would rather watch John and Boogie Cousins play as 18-year-olds. They might have been 15 for all I care. They could have lied about how old they were. I didn't care. Like,
Boogie was not 15.
They were no,
Boogie might have been 30.
Boogie. Yeah,
I was
Carlos
35.
Yeah, but it was just this moment where you had white kids doing this shit, right? In their Nike Elites, in their fucking hyper dunks, and everybody was running around with shorts past their knees, and that's an era we'll never get back, right? We're looking at 30 plus years until that shorts past the knees comes back. And they played in the prime of it, and they made college basketball worth watching over a ton of NBA teams. And even when you send John into the NBA, it was just like, all right, this guy's fucked, right? He's on the Wizards, but
pure
what else are you going to do when you're
you're
trying to replace Gilbert Arenas? Yeah, it's like, until you start packing a gun in your locker, it's over. So I'm gonna give it to John. He was elite. Favorite college player I've ever watched.
360 layups, behind the back passes, the flashiest fucking point guard. Really the beginning of this Kentucky era where it's like one and done phenoms coming in. He wasn't even the most highly touted prospect of all time, but he should have been if you watched his hoop mixtape, because like that's probably the one where, drunk dudes get back from the bar and they're like, what are we going to put on? Everybody's like first thought is John Wall hoop mixtape in high school.
John Wall,
Holy Rams uniform.
To make an album comparison, John Wall is like the 808s and Heartbreak of playing the guard position at college basketball in the modern era. He redefined it for everyone after that. Kemba Walker, not possible without John Wall. John Morant, not possible without John Wall. Like all of these people that you watched come up over the past decade, none of them exist without having John Wall exist.
That leads perfectly into my pick. I'm going to select Kemba Walker.
Trailblazer.
Just, like an unbelievable performer. Like he was really the kind of guy where you knew that he was going to show up on the biggest stage, and happened in that Big East tournament. He averaged like almost 30 points a game in college. That's just unbelievable. I know he was at like 29 points per game. I don't have the exact stats in front of me, but just a filthy scorer, like a 6'1" guard, maybe. Not like the quickest guy on the court. He wasn't dunking on kids. He was doing pretty much everything below the rim. Just an absolute stud. Just a privilege to watch. And once again, like when we think of this college hoops era, like the swag has something to do with it. Those UConn uniforms back then, like everybody had a pair of UConn shorts, like the Nike Elite ones. Like you weren't cool if you didn't. All right. And some things just added up. And, Jim Calhoun on the sideline, gotta love Jim Calhoun. It just had a really fun era. And obviously the Pittsburgh step back. Turner talked about it last week. That's going to live forever. Cardiac Kemba. And I started practicing that move in my backyard because I'm like, I just want to have a step back like Kemba. And I never did. And that's probably why I'm hosting a podcast at 26 years old, and I'm not playing for the Charlotte Bobcats like he did.
The poor kid
Rest in
has to
peace
watch
to the
that
Charlotte
highlight every
Bobcats.
year.
Poor kid, dude.
What was it, Pittsburgh they played?
Yeah, Pitt.
Who was the
And
kid?
that was before
Yeah.
like DeJuan Blair and Sam Young, or it might have been after DeJuan Blair and Sam Young, but that was a good Pitt team. Bordy, you got back-to-back picks.
Blake Griffin.
That was quick.
Wow.
That's all
He
I
was
got.
on my list. You have another pick, dog.
How about that NCAA basketball game, that video game where
09.
while you're waiting to play, just in like the loading screen, you just could dunk with Blake Griffin?
And Taylor.
You
Taylor
just-
was just like there
just
to rebound
shitting.
for you.
Yeah. Who? Taylor?
His brother.
Who the hell's
Yeah.
that?
His older brother, Taylor Griffin. They
And
played at
I
Oklahoma
think the
together.
game before that, it was the same thing, but Tyler Hansbrough was the person.
It was Kevin
was
Love.
another.
Oh, Tyler.
Oh, it was K Love?
Yeah, K Love.
UCLA
NCAA
K
basketball
Love?
08. Yeah.
Did he go to UCLA?
Mm-hmm. He was fat
Did
there,
him and
too.
Russ? Him and Russ play together? Or K Love?
Yep. They
Before
played together
Russ
with
was
Drew
gone.
Holiday, too.
Damn.
Yeah, stacked
Good for
roster.
them, but yeah, Blake Griffin at Oklahoma was an absolute fucking tweaker. Just a white boy with all the good black genetics. Just an insane dunker of the basketball, maybe one of the best ever. I'm gonna go with a Greek with my next pick. Possibly the most famous Greek of all time. That's Luka Garza.
Nice.
Oh, Luka Garza.
It's one of my
Terrible
favorite
terrible at beer
of all
pong.
time. Really.
ass.
So tall and so money in the post, he'd be a fucking bucket.
I carried us the one game of beer pong I ever played with him. I carried. He was a super nice guy, though.
Good for you guys. You guys won though, right? So that's good.
Yeah,
There you go.
that was
Just insane
like,
post
right.
moves. Has a strap for a 3-pointer. Iowa basketball used to mean something, and
It still does. Caitlin
So,
Clark's
yeah.
holding it down.
Iowa men's basketball used to mean something.
Peyton Sanford just recorded the first triple-double in Iowa basketball history this year.
Iowa men's basketball history.
Coming,
What?
yeah,
That's
yeah.
crazy.
Fun
Luka
fact,
didn't pro.
yeah. A guy named Peyton. Yeah, that's
From
who
Waukee,
did
Iowa.
it.
Tough look for Iowa. Men's basketball. Jesus.
Solid player. Yeah, it's crazy. I was talking to my
Solid
mom
look.
about it the other night. You know, I had the YouTube TV multicast going. I had 4 games. It was like Duke and NC State, Iowa State and Baylor, I think, and then Iowa, Ohio State, and Creighton and Providence. And I'm looking at, you got 10 guys on each court at a time. So I've got 40 guys on the court. And between the 8 rotations of 5-man lineups, only one lineup had 5 white guys on the court at once. And that was your Iowa Hawkeyes, boys. And they were playing against Ohio State, and they had 4 black dudes and one guy who I thought was white. And then the camera panned in on him, and it turned out he's just like an albino black dude. And I was like, fuck, even their white guys are black. I'm like, no wonder we're fucking
Alopecia.
losing.
How about the whole world finding out Isaiah Hardenstein's black this week?
Is that
Did you guys see
true?
that? Yes. They pulled up a picture of his dad, and his dad's name's like fucking Scoot or something sweet.
We
Looks
lost
like a
one.
pimp.
God damn it. Fuck, dude. I loved Hartenstein. He's the man. I mean, I still do. I don't love him because he's black, and I'm figuring that out now, but like, just a hustler. Like, he plays like the whitest dude out there. That's great.
Yeah, that came off really tough from you, Ralph. I mean, we're 17 days past Black History Month, and that's what you're going to hit us with.
You know what? I'll make up for it right here. I'll draft one of the hoodest dudes to ever play college basketball. I'm going to take Michael Beasley from Kansas State.
Oh, he was on
Like
my
one of the-
list.
One of the only freshmen to ever win Big 12 Player of the Year. Second pick in the draft behind Derrick Rose. D. Rose went to the Bulls. Beasley went to the Heat. And, I mean, he was just a walking double-double. It's not like he was 7'2" either. He was 6'8", 6'9", just terrorizing people on the boards. Filthy lefty, had the midi, could just bash on people. He's kind of like Blake Griffin before Blake Griffin in a lot of ways. And didn't have the NBA career that I wanted him to, but another ESPN profile on him. Loves SpongeBob. He had a bed that was decked out in SpongeBob sheets, SpongeBob pillow covers, and I just love the idea of the Big 12 Player of the Year just absolutely crashing bitches on SpongeBob. Yeah, like Michael fucking Beasley was just banging
That's fucking
hoes
awesome.
on a SpongeBob
Rumor
bed.
has it
So
SpongeBob actually had Michael Beasley sheets.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Whoever got quoted on that just got it mixed up.
Dude,
It was
Turner's
a mishap.
entire personality, like he was a K-State fan since day one.
Yep.
His entire personality was Michael Beasley, like through all of elementary, middle school.
He loves Michael Beasley, and I don't think he'll get drafted, but he also loved Jacob Poland. And I think that his like bio was I could get a bucket anywhere on Twitter. And I was like, facts, Jacob Poland's a hooper. It was something crazy like that. All right. Kapsch, you're back up.
Yeah, this is a personal favorite of mine, but also shout out to the grassroots of Linn-Mar High School in Iowa for this one. I'm going Marcus Page.
Yep,
yeah.
You know
it. I grew up a Carolina fan back when I gave a shit about basketball. That was my team. I was put on to Jordan as the GOAT very early in my young years.
That baby blue is just too plain.
I mean,
Carolina blue, dog. Only
Carolina
school
blue
with a color named after it. You never hear Hawkeye black or Hawkeye gold. You hear Carolina
just
blue.
The perfect color.
Yeah. I think part of it was the allure. Like anytime you get like that lefty that can just drip, it's so fun. But like that team where it was like you had him, like Cam Johnson, who was the fat fuck that lost all that weight?
They had James Michael McAdoo. Oh, the fat kid. I can't remember off the top of my head. I know you're talking about that.
Dude, the fat kid was such a stud, and he lost a shit ton of weight later. Like, he was like Bacot before Bacot. Like,
I'll pull up.
Please do. But, dude, like, Cam was literally the skinniest person anyone had ever seen, and he kind of started going crazy towards the end of that tournament run. But, yeah, Chris Dunn from, where was he? Providence?
Yep.
Providence, yeah. My hometown.
I remember like tweaking a little bit watching that game. I was like, shit, Chris Dunn might be the best player I've ever seen.
Dude,
he still got it done. And then that national championship against Villanova where they lost it on that buzzer. Like, it was like, yes, Kennedy Meeks, thank you. He was the bane of my existence for a while. But that was such a fun team to watch and cheer for. That was kind of like the last North Carolina team I followed really, really, really closely. And I think the back, like Marcus Page hitting that shot only to turn around and have Villanova hit that game winner to seal off the national championship. Yeah, that was
probably the best
unreal
basketball game ever.
Literally,
ever.
To this day, I've yet to watch a better game. Other than maybe Gonzaga,
Jay Wright,
UCLA a few years ago.
That
was a really, really good game. Yeah.
No, and he was just like a pure point guard too. Like he could definitely score the ball, had a great stroke, especially for a lefty. It didn't look awkward at all. A lot of lefties, it looks like a little bit clunky, but he was like a pass first facilitator. Roy Williams said he's one of his favorite players he's ever coached. And if Roy Williams is giving you that high of praise, you're good in my book. One of my favorite coaches ever. Cerroni, you got back-to-back
picks. Way to go.
I'm going to go, first I'll go, give me Zion. You know, I just remember, dude, I remember it, and I not even the dunk. I remember that block that he had that year when he was like at his all-time highest. Like it just was unbelievable, the shit that he was doing in game, the dunks, the 360 windmill, the reverse. Like I've never seen someone that big of a physical fucking being jump that high. And then the block I'm talking about when the guys in the
closing
corner
out on Virginia in the corner at Virginia. He closed out from the block to the corner three. He started at the block.
And he literally blocks it when the ball is fucking at its peak. It's unbelievable. The shit that they're just like, I thought he was gonna be the next LeBron. I think we all did. Like no one has just seen someone that fucking big jump that. It was unbelievable watching him play. And then give me Lonzo Ball at UCLA. Give me Lonzo. I just thought it was so much fun to watch him. A team that like talk about like fell off after him and just is not in the mix at all anymore. And he was a hooper, dude. In college, he was doing all the around the back, all the fucking playmaking, hitting the threes, hitting crazy floaters. Just like you want fucking college ball, you just want exciting. You obviously want wins, but you just want the player to make exciting plays, to go crazy, to root for. You'd like the madness aspect of March. And yeah, Lonzo was he did it for me. That was a fucking insane watching him play. Yeah, give me Jimmer, Zion, Lonzo. I like that. I like my draft a lot. And one more
Solid
to
three
cap
so
it
far.
off the end.
Yep. I mean, yeah, Lonzo, like he didn't invent it, but he kind of brought it back. Like the thing about
He's so
UCLA is,
smart.
Kevin Love had like the beautiful outlet pass. Lonzo is such a selfless basketball player. The NBA really missed, or not the NBA as a whole, but like the NBA is better off when Lonzo's playing because he just has like this element of his game where he will throw the ball forward 55 feet and just you're in transition the second that he takes the ball out of bounds because like he's just always looking for new opportunities for offense. And I mean, he's a great athlete, but I will say he got fucking punked by De'Aaron Fox in the NCAA tournament. De'Aaron Fox made him his bitch, and then he still got drafted over De'Aaron Fox. And De'Aaron Fox, I think that's been like a mission of his for a long time.
Was Fox on Kentucky, right? Or
yeah,
was Kentucky
with Malik Monk.
Yeah.
Malik Monk,
Yep.
Bam Adebayo, and Fox all on the same Kentucky team under Calipari. Just fucking filthy.
Yeah.
All right, I think I'm back up. Or no, Kapsch, you're back up.
Back to me. I can't believe nobody said this yet, but give me Kevin Durant out of Texas.
Oh,
He was
dude,
going to be
that
my pick if I
next-
didn't take
yeah.
Beasley.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't think I would get him after going Marcus Page just as a personal, but I mean, we're talking about a guy who's averaging almost 26 points a game, 8 boards in 1 year of college basketball. Took home the Wooden. He pretty much led almost every statistical category within all of the Big 12. He was the AP Player of the Year. And did they get bounced in the second round? Yeah, but that wasn't his fault. All right.
Was DJ
It wasn't his
Augustine
fault.
on that team
All right,
with
man.
him?
Calm down.
I can't remember. I don't think so.
I'd
I
like
feel
to
like
see
if
that
he'd be in
+7
that
for
orange
Texas
box,
Longhorns.
I mean,
so
I feel like
clean.
he wouldn't have had nearly as many touches if he was,
I'm not going to say his name on the pod, but we have a kid who is on our 6th grade B team that loves Kevin Durant.
already irrelevant.
Plays
on the
nothing
B
like
team.
him. He's a white, chubby kid. He's adorable. He's actually got a pretty good jumper. But I swear to God, and I'm not lying when I say this, every single practice, he shows up in a different KD jersey. He's got like the Brooklyn alternate one that says Bed-Stuy across it. And one practice, he came in a full KD Texas outfit. He had the burnt orange jersey with burnt orange shorts to match, but he never changes his
Recognize
shoes.
his game.
He's always got like blue and yellow shoes on.
You were
And
so
we're not a blue
fired
and
up.
yellow team. But I'm like, I don't want to say his name, but yo, like you're coming out with a Texas uni right now.
Yo,
You look
KD.
sick, dude. Yeah, so like, and I'm telling you, like he's the least athletic kid on that team by a quarter mile. Like it's insane. Like he's so slow.
We got that from chubby white kid. Yeah.
Yeah, but he can definitely stroke it quite a bit. But just loves KD.
Also got that from chubby white kid. Yeah.
Yep, you gotta love to see it.
I bet he's super nice to refs.
He doesn't say a word. He
That's-
doesn't say anything.
Yes.
In this economy, that's
So polite.
super nice to refs. Yeah.
And I like
you
know
need
me,
that.
like I yell at kids, and every time I do, he just looks at me. He's just like, he just nods with his buck ass teeth. He's such a
You pull
sweetheart.
him out of the game. You got to hand him a Fig Newton when he gets back to the bench, just so he can keep his blood sugar levels where they
Sugar
need to be.
levels.
But it's not like too unhealthy. Like you're like, it's a Fig Newton. You're
Fig Newton.
okay.
Yeah, there's
He'll get
figs
you
in
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
All right,
So
I'm gonna
electrolytes
take.
aren't enough.
I'll take my favorite college basketball player. I was gonna try to do the whole one without taking a Dookie, but I just felt I would feel bad if I didn't take him. Give me Brandon
Take a fat
Ingram.
dookie.
Love
there's
Bi
AD.
more than anybody.
Bucket.
I mean, the moment I laid eyes on him, I'm like, this is the peak of my stoner era. I'm like, dude, finally a dude that's playing at Duke that's just obviously a chiefer. And he went out there and he never disappointed. He would always give us 18 to 22 points, straight buckets, so lanky. And honestly, to this day, still one of my favorite basketball players in the league. Top 3 for sure right now, like behind Bron and Kyrie.
You're always on him. You've never not been a dick rider.
I mean, we
Even
were about
when
to
it
do our
came
2K.
out that he came out and said he loved midgets. He was like a midget fetish.
Well, we posted that
Double
to the
down.
page. Like, there's a picture of him and his prom date, and she's like actually like a short person. She's a small person, and they just look so cute
A
together.
midget?
Wearing like, yeah,
Can you not say
Sure,
midget?
it's just not because he's
I think
tall.
we can say midget. I repost. No,
Wait.
she's actually a midget. Like she has midget face and everything. 'Cause you know how all the midgets kind of have the same face. Like,
Yeah.
we used to post
Like
it on
Down
the pod.
syndrome.
We would post it on the
Ingram.
pod page like once every 3 months. I'll start posting it
That was
again because
our
I keep
only-
it at all times. But no, I mean, just a stud, dude. Like, I remember there was a picture of him after they got bounced from the bubble. He's just watching like the bubble playoffs from his home completely alone. And he's really skinny, right? But you can tell he's just baked because he has like a coffee table in front of him. And every square inch of that coffee table is covered in Popeyes. He had like enough Popeyes to feed like the entire Pelicans roster, including Zion, and he's just housing a chicken sandwich. And so there's 2 pictures of it. There's like somebody had to have taken the picture because it's from like 15 feet behind him, just like showing you his view. And then there's another one of just him in a selfie, and he's just munching the Popeye sandwich. You know, when the sandwich was like really popular on Twitter, and he's just going in on it. So like,
dude.
there's also a great video of him in a hot dog outfit for Halloween, and he's just obviously baked. Like, that's on our Instagram too. Like, he's my favorite character, but he's also one of my favorite players too. Like, crazy mid-range game.
Hooper.
Like, everybody comped him to KD, but like,
Yeah, he's
he's
baller.
also sneaky, one of the best passers in the league. I watched an NBA Einstein video the other day. He's a great follow on Twitter. And he had like a 13-minute highlight, or not even highlight, but just compilation of Brandon Ingram passing highlights, and he's always making the right play. So shout out BI. I hope he gets a ring someday, because that's my. And also one of those guys that I know if I met him, we would click. Like, we would be best friends in an instant. Like, I just have that feeling. All
I
right,
think you would like him a little
he'd
more
love
than
you,
you
Ralph.
That's how I feel about Cerrone.
Yes, dude.
He's your
For
BI.
real. Can we please do a
He's my white
pop-off
whale.
meetup? For real.
We'll do it.
Instant
We'll do
click.
it. Bordy,
Smoke
you got
backwards into Brandon Ingram fashion. All right, we're gonna stick with the cornrows, because cornrows are just kind of a tried and true of college basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Sad to not see him as much anymore, because it used to be about that was the hair everybody was rocking.
Robert Dillingham's bringing him back.
There we go, Rob Dillingham. I'm gonna go Allen Iverson.
Damn,
Oh, I knew you were going to say AI. Who did he even play for?
Georgetown.
Georgetown. I don't remember him
Oh,
playing
that's
that
sick.
Well, yeah, we weren't alive.
time, but
Yeah, we weren't alive yet. He played like in '96.
I was choosing guys that I actually watched play, but it sounds good, Bordy. I'll take Michael Jordan out of North Carolina next, please. Thanks.
Well, Larry Bird's still on my board, but I figured you guys.
Yeah.
Larry.
No shit for the legend, dog.
Larry was a dog at Indiana State, and those jerseys with the like state
Every
of
white
Indiana
guy-
on them. Just
Every
Indiana State
white
blue.
guy in a fraternity had a Larry Bird Indiana State jersey. And
Did we ever get to
I
the
was
bottom
one
of-
of them?
Maybe Kapsch should know this. Did you see the highlight of Larry Bird's son?
No,
Or
we're
like,
not bringing this up
nephew?
again. That was the dumbest thing we've
Damn,
talked about on the
man.
pod in weeks,
Should've
because you said
fucking-
his name was
All right,
Jordan Bird. I looked for it for like 15 minutes afterwards, and I couldn't find it anywhere.
Fuck.
And you said you would send
I'll
me the
find it.
TikTok,
I'll
so
find
that's your homework. All right,
I'll find it. Hand up accountability.
Allen
all right,
Iverson,
continue.
Bordy. Yeah, one of the pioneers of like the crossover,
Yeah,
like literally
Butcher the
changed the
Cherry.
game. Okay, Jesus, dude, I'm talking about his basketball skills, and you're talking about him in the bowling alley incident. Crazy 30
That's
for
why you like
30.
him, huh? You dirty little.
Could have been a running back in the NFL. Amazing soccer player, apparently. Like, just an all-around athlete. Fun fact about him:
Allen
he was
Iverson?
he was like the closest thing the NBA has ever had to a vampire. He talked about this. He's talked about it so many times.
I'd love to see
you haven't
him
heard it
meet
before-
Roquan Smith.
So
vampire.
he would play in noon games, right? Like, they would have noon games on Sunday. We had one today. The NBA will have noon games like every Sunday. And he would stay out if there was like in New York or something like that, or in Miami. He would stay out when he play at noon. He would go out Saturday night and literally stay out until 10:30 a.m. Then go straight to the gym, like still like probably a little bit drunk, and then go hoop and drop like 34 on your favorite team.
Fucking awesome, bro. That's like Menzel.
Yeah,
The
except
harder
way
you
better
party,
at
the
it.
better you play. God,
Yeah.
that fires me up.
Just
That's
cracking
awesome.
People up drunk as shit.
But Johnny Manziel would
Yep.
do it after games. Allen Iverson was doing this before games. That's what
That's
makes him
true.
a vampire. It's like he
And
was
You
staying
play a
up
little, you play a
throughout
little
the night.
better shooting off the hip. There's kind of that little dog mentality when you know that you're kind of a little below the weather.
Yeah.
You got a little edge on your shoulder. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot.
I mean, my
That's
entire
the definition of
church league
pregame.
career, or intramural career in college, like I was literally dabbed out for every game, and I was still put up 4 to 5 threes every game, just dripping.
wet.
Was
Yeah.
that my last pick, or do we have
We
another
won,
round
though,
here?
every time.
You got another one, Bordy.
All right, last pick, going to bring this team together. This team needs some team chemistry and a leader real bad. Give me Brunson,
Nice.
because Brunson was one of my favorite college players, and he didn't have a lot of NBA hype just because he's not really like the NBA build. I think he went like in the late teens or maybe even in the 20s. I could be wrong there, but
30s. He was in the second round. Same draft as Luka. Really? Luka was the 3rd pick. He was like the 37th pick.
Yeah, and he was an absolute dog on the ship, I'm pretty sure. And
back-to-back championships and a Naismith Player of the Year.
Fucking there you go. I just picked a dog.
He was unbelievable at Villanova.
And that's what kind of blew me. I was like, how does that guy go 37? Like
I think it's because of like the size and the athleticism and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
NBA, you're looking for prospects, but like
he's just a pure winner though.
Proves that he's a dog and is a hooper. Like it's tried and true.
And now on the Knicks, he's playing with his Villanova teammates. He's got DiVincenzo. He's got Josh Hart. They're always recruiting Mikal Bridges very openly. Sick. Like it's literally like social media tampering to a T.
Josh Hart's like awesome. One of my favorite players.
Dude, they're good. I mean, we haven't been doing as much NBA coverage these last couple of months, but we will obviously once the playoffs start. Like it'll be every pod will be NBA shit. But I think that they have a legitimate chance to like beat Boston in a 7-game series.
Nice. Yeah. And they got that like chip on their shoulder too. Like that no one, like every year Boston is favorite and they just never fucking
and they got
they can never
Deuce's it's by Deuce's fault.
My favorite team.
That little fucker.
I said this earlier.
Yeah, his dad made it to a conference finals against Braun and lost before Deuce was even born. So maybe you're right, Kapsch. All right, I can't take another Dookie. I'll mix it up. I'm trying to think. I don't even have one.
Can I throw some honorable mentions out that won't ever get said but need to?
Sure.
I have a couple as well.
All right. First one, Kevin Ware.
Okay, that gives me my pick. Nope, that gives me my pick. My favorite college basketball player.
Siva,
it's not, but he is a Louisville guy. It's Terrence Williams. If I was an NBA GM, I would have taken him with the 1st overall pick. Like, he was fucking unbelievable. Did not pan out in the NBA whatsoever. I would have been fired for taking him number 1 overall. But if you don't. And you know what sucks about it is, like, he played in, like, that range, like, 2009 to 2011. Dude, cameras sucked back then. Because I tried to watch Terrence Williams highlights a few months ago, and they're like, the footage is terrible. So I don't know what happened. I thought that's when HD came out, but I guess the highlights don't exist in HD. But he was just tatted up, wore number 1 at Louisville. Very handsome dude. I definitely had a boy crush on him growing up, and I was like, he's got the prettiest jump shot. He dunks on people. He reminded me a lot of Corey Brewer at Florida, and I was like, this dude is just a fucking hooper. So thank you, Kapsch. You led me to a pick with a Kevin Ware highlight. So Kevin Ware remembered for the wrong reasons, obviously, but yeah.
Yeah,
he was a good player other than that, though. Like, he was, a starter on a Division I college basketball team. So, I'll take T. Will. And that's a slept-on one. Real hoopers will know. T. Will's a good pick. All right, Kapsch and then Cerroni to close it out.
Another honorable mention is I wanted to take him as a pick, but with how good the board is, I can't. Ali Farouk-Manesh, the shooting guard out of Northern Iowa, helping take down Kansas, the number 1 seed. That was a Cinderella story for the ages. This dude's still in. I'm pretty sure he's a coach at Nebraska right now, if I'm not mistaken. So he's getting ready.
He sells car insurance.
Well, yeah, you can do that too. What do you think this is? 2008? Yeah.
Great policy.
Great coverage. I forgot being a high school coach isn't a full-time gig.
Yeah.
So at least that's what my mom keeps telling
me. His name was said earlier. I actually won't say it because I bet you $1 million that that's Cerroni's guy.
Eric Devendorf, Johnny Flynn.
No, he's another.
Is that a Memphis?
Juwan Blair.
No, you're gonna take D Rose. I was gonna say Tyler Hands, bro.
Nice.
The fact that he's not on this list is honestly no, he wasn't.
We talked.
He was just mentioned. Honestly, he probably should be my pick here. You know what?
If you say his name one more time, he's gonna show up like Beetlejuice.
Yeah, I was gonna say if we're gonna go, I'll go to North Carolina guys. The other guy I was going to say, as far as honorable mentions go, Joakim Noah. The video of him crying and hugging his mom after winning the national championship at Florida was
2 in a row.
So cute. Adorable. My mom made me watch it. as if I was going to amount to anything in athletics, any form of athletics.
I think she just
And I was
wanted
like,
you to
Mom,
love her, man.
Yeah. And I was like,
Yeah,
Mom,
she
I
just wanted a
love
hug.
you.
You asked.
Yeah, I was like, look, I get you're Italian and that you have to be the most important thing in my life for the rest of my life. And you always will be. Don't get me wrong. But I'm a man now. I'm 13 years old, Mom. And you gotta let me.
This is my house.
Yeah. I was like, Mom, you gotta let me wear my cargo shorts.
I'm going to take 30-minute showers.
Yeah. I was like, Mom, I'm going to listen.
Shorts.
I was like, Mom, I'm going to listen to Air and Shitty Bang, and there's not shit you can do about it. All right? I'm going to wear this Mod Sun hoodie my sophomore year of high school because I saw Mac Miller do it on Most Dope.
Yeah, Mom, I'm 2 years away from drinking UV Blue. Like, it's time to let me go, dog.
Yeah, Mom, I'm going to Phil's house later, and I'm going to throw up in his jacuzzi.
Wow, I would love to yak in Phil's jacuzzi.
God,
I actually never did it.
14-year-old.
So much
Did Phil have a jacuzzi? I don't remember.
Phil having a jacuzzi. It was hidden.
It was on the VIP level.
Yeah, you had to know somebody to know somebody.
I lived there for 2 months.
They had a room. They had a whole room.
Rob wasn't allowed.
That door was locked. It was the indoor jacuzzi. I saw some shit.
You would have hotboxed it. Go down that you would have hotboxed it.
Let's not relive high school jacuzzi story.
Yeah. Tyler Hansborough, Psycho T.
Pass on those. Yeah.
Elbowed in the face, bloody nose from Gerald Henderson. Maybe the most demonic anybody's ever looked on a basketball court is the look that he got after he got that bloody nose. And then he played with the mask for the longest time. Wore number 50. And he was dominant, dude. He was, double-double every single night. And had a pretty good NBA career. Played for the Pacers for 8 or 9 years. And
he was solid, but
why don't the big whites translate to the NBA? They just too slow in pick and roll.
I was going to ask that before.
It's too slow. He's a fucking traffic cone on defense.
Too slow, yeah.
He's a cone.
He could put up 40 on any given night, but yeah. But
different breed out there in the NBA.
I feel like there's a lot of centers that aren't that great on defense, but I don't know. I'm not a coach by any means, so
and I will say Hansbrough doesn't exist without Ty Law.
Ty Lawson.
If Ty Lawson isn't there, literally the epitome of what a great point guard looks like between both offense and defense is a two-way player.
Actually,
kill
car.
Yeah,
put it in the center's gut.
And that's why I said Peyton Siva earlier, because Peyton Siva was one of those guys at Louisville where I was like, that's what a point guard should be. He's chippy, plays with that little chip on his shoulder, but both sides of the ball, he's on it. He's on you. He's a great ball handler.
But I remember my first experience with Peyton Siva. Me and Petey were watching the big McDonald's All-American game, and he did a 360 layup. And I was like, this guy rules, dude. I'm like, he's going to Louisville. I can't wait to watch him.
Did that in 6th grade, and I was like,
Tommy
damn.
Wonick. I weirdly know that kid, too. He knocked for 2 weeks and then just quit. Shout out Tommy Wonick.
He's married. I was at his wedding in February, yeah.
Wow.
High school reunion continues. All right, Cerroni, you got the last pick. We love Tommy.
All right. I was going to, since we're on the honorable mentions, I was going to go D-Rose Memphis. I'm not. I was going to go Trae Young, but I will go. This was 2003. It must have been 2003, 2004.
I can tell you the exact
the perfect
year.
age where we still think we're going to be pro. And give me young man Carmelo Anthony out of Syracuse.
03.
I remember watching him play, dude with the headband, just so swaggy, so good, just fucking can do everything. I feel like a lot of people forget about Melo because he kind of gets, I don't know, it's just been, he had his day, it's over.
He was
but in
maybe
college,
the GOAT of college basketball, yeah.
Yeah, dude, fucking unbelievable. I thought of him and I can't believe he didn't get picked, but yeah, give me Melo out of Syracuse. Another school that I don't know who else Syracuse just be dominant.
Who was that dude
He's so
from
fucking
Syracuse,
good.
5 years ago with the headband, and he had a really cool name.
Did Marcus Smart? No, Marcus Smart was
Marcus Smart's Oklahoma State.
Okay.
Johnny Flynn was a headband guy, Bordy. I'm not sure who you're thinking of off the top of my head.
Cooler name. That's not a cool name.
Wesley Johnson?
I think I might. Yeah, Syracuse. I don't know what happened to them, but it just fell off. It's crazy.
Boeheim
But
retired,
yeah, Melo.
and towards the end of Boeheim's career, they started a dip. But Melo is one of the only freshmen to actually win the national championship as the best player. Like, he's from Baltimore.
Yeah.
He goes to Syracuse. They won the title that year. And then he goes to the Nuggets. He's the second pick in the draft behind LeBron James. And had honestly just as good of a rookie year, maybe even a little bit better than LeBron as a rookie. He averaged like 23 points a game as a fucking rookie, which is insane, especially in that era when like teams were scoring 95 points a game. He's scoring a quarter of his team's points.
Blue Nuggets jersey.
So tough.
Oh, yeah, Melo is fucking, just go down as a goat. But yeah, Melo at Syracuse.
If you want to feel old, his son, Keon, might be going to Syracuse he would be there in 2 years.
Oh, I love that. I love that out of him. Follow Dad's footsteps. Bring the program back. Come on now. Come on, Keon. Get it going.
Cerroni's a big nepotism guy. You should be an Iowa football fan.
I would, dude. I'm slowly. I tell people I'm from Des Moines. I went to Dowling 4 years. I'm sure you guys know all my friends, Ralph, Kapsch, I literally know like hundreds of you guys. It's unbelievable.
Honorary state champs.
I cannot wait to go to Iowa. And
he's Italian. He's Italian. He's Catholic. Fresh air,
of what goes down there. Get some Bordenaro pizza. Nice chicken.
Go to my Uncle Louie's farm.
Cerroni, you got Jimmer Fredette, Zion Williamson, Lonzo Ball, and Carmelo Anthony. I mean, those four can play together, dude. That's a pretty solid group right there.
Goated. I'm pretty proud of it. That was my best draft. Kapsch brings it out of me. Brings the best out of me.
I do that to people.
John Wall, Marcus Page, Kevin Durant, and Tyler Hansborough.
That's a dirty
That's a little squad, too.
Yeah, I think I got a squad.
You got like the whitest black kid ever, Marcus Page, Linn-Mar, Iowa. You got KD, who's from the DMV. You got Psycho T, who's the whitest white guy ever, but also just like, white furiosity. And then you also got
that's
John
what I'm
Wall,
saying. It's like scary white.
Thug. Yeah.
I almost said Ben Hansborough. Shout out to Notre Dame.
Shut up, Ben.
But I can't go all guards.
The Syracuse guy I was thinking of his name was Fab Melo.
Oh, dude, he died.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was Brazilian.
I can't believe nobody took Steph or Ja Morant.
I was gonna take. Yeah,
I didn't watch enough Ja in college. I only watched him in the tournament. I mean, Steph was the same way.
That's when everyone watched them. That's the only. When would you have ever been able to watch them other than?
Well, I knew about him. So I take that back. I'd watched one regular season game, but then whenever draft season comes up, that's when I just crush college basketball tape. I will literally watch not even just highlights of their season, but I'll watch full games of them just to see how they'll exist on an NBA court. It's psychotic. I get it. But Ja was
Murray State? Was Ja Murray State?
Yep.
I was going to say, Ralph, I also am partially autistic. It's hereditary. So I get you. I feel you on that. Yeah, dude. It's
speaking of partially autistic, Bordy, you got Blake Griffin, Luka Garza, Allen Iverson, and Jalen Brunson.
That's sick.
That's a good group of guys.
And
light skins are under for Bordy.
Yeah, we should have just done 5, so we had a starting 5. I didn't even think of that. That's bad on my part. All right, I had Kemba Walker, Michael Beasley, Brandon Ingram, and Terrence Williams. I'm pretty happy with that. No Kyrie. He only played 11 games, so Kyrie was a tough one. But I mean, I could do Jalil Okafor,
Willie Cauley-Stein,
Chris Douglas Roberts if we're doing the hyphen names. I mean, I can keep going. You want me to
say too?
Fuck Perry Ellis, dog. Cole Eldridge, Sharon Collins, the Morris
twins. Rip Hamilton at UConn.
Timmy.
Yeah.
D Wade.
You're drafting at 36. You're taking guys when we were 5 or 6.
Who did D Wade? Yeah, I remember
Marquette.
D Wade was at Marquette.
Marquette. That's what it was. Okay,
Marquette's the same as they've Wesley Matthews, Jay Crowder, Vander Blue.
Oh, Crowder.
They got some hoopers out of Marquette.
Also, though,
Tyler Kolek
Anthony Edwards at Georgia.
Oh my God! Don't get me started.
There's a few.
Don't get me started.
Fred Van Fleet on Wichita State.
Cle Anthony Early. All right, now we're just dudes naming
remember
college basketball players.
Mario Chalmers because he beat.
Yeah,
who did he play for? Because they beat. Okay, because they beat D Rose.
Yep.
Yeah, he was filthy, dude.
All right, time to wrap it up. Thank you guys for listening.
What about Denzel Valentine? Last one.
Michigan State. Good one. He was sick. He was a triple-double. Draymond.
Everybody knew him.
Draymond.
All right, thank you guys for listening. We love you. Everybody enjoy the college basketball this week. Box Out Boys are dropping tomorrow to break down the bracket.
Oh,
I don't know. They've just kind of been freestyling recently, so they might not even talk about college basketball. They might just talk about like their net worths or something weird. But everybody enjoy the college basketball this week. We'll be back later this week. We'll be breaking down the round of 64 games. It'll be a blast. So we'll be back Thursday, I believe.
Roasting the other pods at the end of the pod.
That's
just what all of them are.
I forgot to
I would love to hear their net worth.
At the end, just talk.
Rent Money Boys coming back this week. We're doing a breakdown of Full Swing as well as a breakdown of the players and a look ahead. We're about a month out now, maybe even less than kick off the Masters, baby. It's the greatest sporting event known to mankind. Get excited.
Good job. Good self-promo by you. All right. We love you guys. We will see you on the other side. Peace out.